Hello everyone, my name is Ifos and welcome to my den. Once again we will be talking about Balan Wonderworld. This video will serve as a continuation of my last video, and in here, not only will I classify some stuff from my last video, but I will also present some ideas on how the story could have been better and talk about the little good that is in the game. This video will be divided in 3 parts, so let's start with the first one, shall we? Part 1. Continuation of my last video. This is where I clarify some misinformation from my last video and also add some topics I did not discuss about. One thing I want to clarify about my last video is the end game. I said in my last video that in the end game your friends don't appear and you just fight Lance all alone. Well, I was wrong about that. In the last battle, where Lance turns into this giant dragon, his final form, your friends do appear and they give you their costume that represents them to help you fight Lance. And so yeah, I was wrong about that. A comment pointed that out, and I did, and then I watched a video of the full fight. So yes, I was wrong about that. Thank you to the person who clarified that. Another thing I want to clarify is that yes, I'm aware that the novel exists. I tried to buy it, but it didn't accept my PayPal for some reason. It's only available on Kindle, so I tried to buy it, but it didn't let me. All I know from the novel is the little sneak peek they give you. And in the sneak peek, it says that Lance is the Maestro of Wonderland? So if Lance is the Maestro of Wonderland, who the heck is Balan? An imposter? God, that sneak peek itself just shows how much the game lacks in story. Wow. If you wanna post some story details novel-wise on the comments, go ahead. Just leave a spoiler warning for those who don't want to be spoiled. I personally don't mind because I don't want to buy the novel, and I really shouldn't have because the game should have had this basic information of a main story, but oh well. Now here are the things I forgot to talk about on my first video. When you enter a level, you enter a level and you just get no context of what the level is about. You just enter it and you're in this whole new world. And when you go to the not the final boss, when you go to the boss of that level, then you get a cutscene introducing the person who the world belongs to and that stuff. I just think that's odd, the placement of the cutscenes, because that introductory cutscene should be placed first, and by first I mean it should be placed when you enter the level, because that way you can get the clues that each world has about the backstory of the person. Example. Let me just put the easiest example here. The one with the cat girl. Okay, so we know the story of the cat girl is that she walks around, she fights a cat, she likes the kitty, she I guess adopts the kitty, but one day the kitty was walking on the street and it gets quote unquote run over. I say quote unquote because at the end she turns around and the kitty is fine. I don't know if the thing turned back time or whatever, but that's not the point. The point is we get the introductory cutscene. If that introductory cutscene was placed when you first enter the level, then you will literally understand the context of the design of the level a lot better, because in her level or her island has a lot of clocks and it has stop signs here and there symbolizing the clocks, symbolizing how she wishes that she could turn back time to save her cat, and the stoplights, oh my god, I'm forgetting their name, but those things symbolizing the trauma that she has, because if that thing wasn't if the street light was in red, her cat would have been fine, so if the introductory cutscene was placed first, the design and everything about the level would have been much more significant and that stuff, and would have helped build up the story a little bit more. Another thing that bothers me about the game is the Balan Belts. If you don't know what a Balan Belt is, the Balan Belts are There's a little event that happens when you find a golden hat in a level, and in the Balan Belts, you play as Balan, and all you have to do is smash A at the correct time, and you help him destroy an obstacle. Sometimes in some of the Balan Belts, he fights Lance himself, which is cool, but like the problem I have with these Balan Belts is that one, they're very repetitive. By repetitive, I mean you literally just do the same thing. Press A at the right moment. Press A at the right moment. Press A at the right moment. Yeah, sure. Balan can be doing different moves, but you literally do like the same thing. It doesn't add anything new. It doesn't contribute to anything to the story. And all you do is just get a trophy from Balan. Like, yay! That's all you do. And like. And I see this like as a wasted potential because like okay like you could like in the fights between Balan and Lance, these two could be talking to each other, you know, in those moments when they fight, when they both encounter one another, you can know a little bit about them, maybe have some freaking playful banter between one of the two, but no, all they do is fight, and you have to just determine by their facial expressions how they feel with one another. I mean, all I know from Balan is that he's always happy. Meanwhile, Lance, he always looks so angry and confused in the Balan Belts. Like, yeah. But what I mean is that the Balan Belts, in the end, all they serve is just one thing. And they're wasted potential because they could have been used for, like, a lot more. Also, another thing that I don't like about the Balan Belts is that they all happen in the same setting. Just a cloudless sky. You don't know where you are. You're just flying. Like, come on. I feel like the Balan Belts, like, you know, you find them in different worlds, right? So like each Balan Belt should happen in that world. Like, oh, if you find a Balan Belt in the farmer area, the whole arena thing, it's a farming area and that stuff. If you find it at the clown area, or the what do you call that, amusement park, in the amusement park area, the whole thing could be like a giant, Balan could have been fighting Lance at a giant circus or something like that. If you find the Balan Belt at the Aqua area, freaking him and Lance could have been, I don't know, having a swimming competition or something. It could have been very different, but no, it just all feels due to the same setting, the same controls. It just all feels very repetitive, and again, doesn't contribute to anything. It's just, yeah. The only fun thing about it is that Balan has like different moves he does, but that's all the fun there is to that. Now, let's move on to part 2 of this video. This is where I share my interpretation of the story and what I would have done to make the story better than what it is in the game. By the way, this interpretation of mine, it has nothing to do with the novel, okay? Again, I have not read the novel, so this whole interpretation just comes from me and the game, okay? Nothing from the novel. The first thing I would change about the game's story are the characters' personalities. More specifically Emma's, since Leo's personality and struggle fits well with the game's themes. Emma's new personality should be that of a spoiled rich kid. Here's how it would go. Emma thinks highly of herself because of her riches and looks down at others who are not as fortunate as her. In other words, she's a spoiled bitch, and because of this, she is lonely and doesn't have any friends. This is a good reason of why she ended up at Balan's theater. Emma struggles with loneliness, and her missing heart piece is empathy towards others. At the end of her adventure, Emma changes to a better person, and she is kind, empathetic towards other people, and is able to make friends on her own in the end. Another thing I would add to the game is more interactions between Balan and Lance. My idea for this is that instead of Balan only appearing when you go to another island or in bouts, he should be easily available at the hub world, that being Tim Island. There, you can see Balan interacting with the Tims or the people that you saved. And you can approach him and talk to him. The more you talk to him, the more details you get from him about Wonderworld or even Lance. There should also be more cutscenes and interactions with Lance. So far in the game, all you see Lance do is corrupt the farmer, summon enemies, and block your path. I suggest that in each island we get an interaction with Lance, and some we even fight with him or talk to him. And with these interactions we get hints of what his motivation is, because literally throughout the whole game we do not know why he's doing this to Wonderworld, why he wants to corrupt other people. We literally don't know. All we can assume is that he was corrupted. Well, he was. Is that the Negatai were using him to corrupt Wonderworld or whatever the heck. But like, why? We don't know. And that's, you know, a very important thing to know. The last thing I want to change about the story is the ending. For the end of the game, I imagine the player and Balan piecing together the fact that Lance was corrupted like all the other people at the theater. So the player and Balan go to face Lance. On this final battle, it is a mixture of the player's attacks and bout segments used to combat Lance. Your friends still appear at the game. They still appear at the end, and they still give you their costumes because, you know, they're for the player, but not for Balan. When the battle is over, Lance is saved, and the true evil turns out to be like the Negatai and that stuff, who Balan manages to scare off. They have their final dance sequence with Lance deciding to dance in his grave, yay, and they say goodbye to the player, and that's it. That's the end. These are the changes I would have done to deliver a more satisfying story. But those are just my ideas though. If you guys have any other ideas of your own, feel free to share. Now, for the last part of this video, we're going to talk about the actual good things about the game. One of the first things I want to point out is the character design. My god, it's really good, not gonna lie. Like, not for everyone. I think the worst character designs out of all of them is the farmer and the boy that wants to fly. Like, his character, everything is fine with the boy except for the nose. His nose is too small, ew. But like overall, the character designs are really good. Just by looking at them, you can already tell their character and how they are. Again, my favorite one is freaking Lance. Lance is a beautiful thing. Dear God, I love his design. You can already tell who he is just by design. Like, wow, man. Also, Balan, like not white Balan. Ew, that's disgusting. But like regular Balan, it's like, those two have like the really good designs, because with Balan you can already tell that he is a very happy and bubbly person, but you know, with his big eyes and big ass smile, it gives you that little unsettling vibe. But oh my god, the character designs in this game, very good. Even the main characters, my favorite being the girl, because she's like the cutest and I really like it. This is me just rambling about the character designs, but it's really good. Again, just by looking at them, you can already tell like you can already tell who they are, how they are. You know, you can already tell their character just by looking at them, and it's really good. Oh my god, it is really good, with the exception of White Balan and the farmer and the kid that wants to fly. In addition to character design, another great thing about the game is its art. I mean, we all see the introductory cutscene. It is amazing. You know, the art in this game, it is amazing. Its style, it's great. It reminds me of those books that when you open up, the drawings just like pop out of the page. Yeah, that's how it all feels like. It all just feels like a big pop-up book where you're in there and you just go in. I mean, basically those are the worlds in a nutshell. There are just big pop-up books of each character that you go in and explore. Look, it's amazing. I love the style and the art for this game. And the animation, the cutscenes. The animations in the cutscenes are great. And by cutscenes, I mean, I guess the first one and the last one, since those are the ones that really have animation per se. But yeah, it is the art in the game. It's amazing. Honestly, it inspired me so much that I even made my own little character with the style of Balan Wonderworld. Anyways, here they are. This is Eros, and these are the rest of his sprites. I plan to use them more in the future because goddamn, I love them very much. OC aside, the art in the game, character design, spot on, amazing. Another great thing about the game, it's its concept, or so its idea. You know, this adventure about helping others and seeing how they struggle through because of their trauma and all that stuff, and how they learn to deal with it, and how you learn to deal with your stuff, and that's it it had an amazing concept, and I'm pretty sure that they want to do more Balan lands, but God, what we got, it's really sad. It's tragic how the idea just didn't flourish well. I hope that in the future, it somehow, gets, maybe the thing gets rebooted and it's, done better. Because it's a shame that it wasn't, flourishing well. I know I said the word again. But yeah, it's such a good idea. I just wish that maybe one day, or maybe, well, never, but I just really wished it worked out well. Damn. The thing I want to say is that if you enjoy the game how it is, good on you. There is nothing bad in enjoying something others don't like. Besides, I'm just here to express my opinion on the game. Take this as you will. One more thing before I go. Thank you for 2K views on my first video and subscribing to my channel. It really means a lot to me, and it really took me by surprise. That video did amazing. Again, I know this video isn't gonna do this as great as the other one because, I'm actually speaking some good things about the game, but still, I'm really happy with how this turned out. Thank you so much for subscribing and that stuff. Another thing that makes me happy is that a lot of people commented on the video and we had, a discussion, and that it feels great, man. It was, wow, it was amazing. It just felt amazing. Thank you a lot. I hope y'all enjoyed this video too. Anyway, that's it. Now get out of my den.